I want to share with us today how to make this beautiful gown. We are going to be learning how to draft it and also how to cut it. If you have been seeing this type of style for a while now and you don't know how to go about it, you can also come close and learn how to do it. It's going to be a simple tutorial. If you're interested, just keep watching. I have my pattern paper here and it's on fold, as you can see here. I folded it up and I'm going to start by placing my tape like this to mark down my shoulder divide by 2. Then I'm going to bring it down to get my shoulder to bust, shoulder to under bust, shoulder to waist, shoulder to the hip and to the full length. I don't know how the length of this gown looks like, but if it is a gown that is very long, you can take your measurement down to the length of your gown. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and rule this out. This is a requested tutorial. I am ruling all my lines out. After that, the next thing I'm going to do is to just mark our basic neck width and depth 3 by 3 inches, which is not going to be useful. I am just marking it for us not to get confused. Now after that, I'm going to go ahead and input my nipple to nipple, but before I do that, I'm going to mark out my chest line like this, rule it out, connect the armhole line, then take the shoulder slope. I'm going to divide the remaining measurement on the armhole, getting the midpoint mark, then use my French curve and curve out the armhole like this. Next is to input the bust span, divide by 2. I'll bring it down. I'll mark it from the chest line down to the length of the gown. Like, this is just a tutorial, guys. If you watch my paper, is not that too long, but if your own is very long, take your bust span down to the full length of your long gown. Okay, and this picture we are recreating does not, I don't know, I did not see any dart line there, but if in case you wanted to manipulate your dart, you can go ahead and manipulate your dart. Okay, now on the under bust line, I am going to be marking 1.3 inches at the both side. At the under bust, I'm going to go ahead and curve it out like this. Okay, 1.2. If you're a plus size, you can use 1.5 or even 2 inches at the both side. Then coming to the shoulder, I'm going to go ahead and divide the remaining shoulder by 2, get the midpoint, place it and connect it from the shoulder to the chest line like this. I divided the shoulder by 2, get the midpoint and connect it from shoulder to the chest line. Now I am going to mark what I mark at the under bust to the waist. Now coming to the full length, I am going on the hip line, I'm going to come up with 2 inches at the hip line. From the place I came up with 2 inches at the hip line, I'm going to connect it like this. Okay, you can see how my dart lines went. From the hip line, I came up with 2 inches. Okay, you don't need to draw your dart leg down to the hemming part of your long gown. From the hip, you come up by 2 inches. Now from the, I am going to measure from this armhole area, the shoulder side. I mark out 2 inches to get to tighten my chest on the bust tightening. I mark out 2 inches, and after marking out 2 inches, I connected it down to the bust point. Then from the remaining shoulder that is on the armhole, I measure out 2 inches and mark out another new armhole, as you can see here. The armhole I took out to do my bust curve or bust tightening, I returned it back, like I put it back. Okay, curving out another armhole area. Now coming to the armhole line, from the chest line I went up with 5 inches. You can go up with 4 inches or 4.5 inches, depending how you wanted the pointy area to be. Okay, after going up, I just mark it, just outline it there. I'm going to come back to it later. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to input all my measurements, put the bust measurement divide by 4 plus seam allowance, then under bust divide by 4, then adding back the dart leg, waist divide by 4, adding back the dart leg plus seam allowance. The same thing goes to the hip and every other part. I'm going to go ahead and connect. Remember, I want to repeat this. I deducted 2 inches on the shoulder area, connecting it to give me a curve or bust tightening line. I connect it from the shoulder down to the bust point. Now from the armhole area, the remaining little shoulder that was left, from there I marked out 2 inches. That's replacing the 2 inches I took out. Then from that 2 inches I marked out, from there I connect our new armhole. Okay, now I am done with this part. You can see that I open it up and I duplicate what I have on this other side. What I drew on the other side, I redrew it on this side as well. As you can see here, everything I did on that side, I redrew it on this side. Now how to get the curve from the underboard this side, I came down with 1 inch. On that area side, I came down with half an inch. Then at the center point, at the midpoint here, I came down with 2 inches. The center point of this front or pattern that we are marking at the midpoint, the center point, you know that there was a center point there. I came down with 2 inches. Now I'm going to place my French curvy part like this. From the 1 inch I came down on the under bust, I'll just place it to connect to the half inch here right now. Here I'm going to connect it to meet to the 1 inch I came down. I'll still go ahead placing the French curve to meet to the 2 inches I came down from the chest line at the midpoint of this paper. I'll connect like so. Now from there, from that place, I'm going to connect it straight up to meet to the 5 inches I went up to the armhole area. You can see it here. Now you can see that the curvy part is now ready. If you measure from the upper shoulder, what I have there, like what I came down there, is just 2 inches. Okay, but I measured from the chest line upward, and that gave me 5 inches. Now let me repeat it again. To get this curvy part and pointy mouth, from this side part, on the under bust, I came down with 1 inch. Then close to the dart leg, same under bust line, I came down with half inch. Then on the center point of this paper, chest line to be precise, I came down, I marked 2 inches, then connecting all the curve to meet to the 5 inches I went up at the armhole area. Now you can see that the look of this the picture we are recreating is just coming out gradually. Okay, so now if you pad it up, it's going to be, one side is going to be padded, one side is going to be you can use your ready-made bra cup to do that. Yes, that is what they use on that picture. The ready-made bra cup was used and it was pleated the fabric on it. Okay, so this is what I have for the front, and you can see that it's looking so beautiful. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is to cut the back. But before that, if you are getting confused, you can label your left side and your right side for the front, for you to know where you wanted the pointing mark to look or to face. Now let's get to the back. So I have my simple basic body for the back. I have my zip allowance. Um I have my shoulder divide by 2, the neckline, the armhole area, the bust span. I have marked my bust span divide by 2. As you can see here, this is it. So, and if you watch, this picture is an off shoulder, the back is an off shoulder. In fact, everything about this picture is just an off shoulder. It's going to be without shoulder. Okay, but I just mark everything for us not to be confused. Now to mark my dart on the waistline, I'm going to be deducting half inch at the both side of the waistline. So I mark shoulder to bust, shoulder to waist, and shoulder to the hip line. then shoulder to the full length. Okay, there's no under bust at the back. I'm going to go ahead and connect my dart line diagonally like this. Remember, at the hip line I came up with 2 inches. Now to get the depth of our neckline, I'm going to mark 8 inches, and that 8 inches fall at the armhole area. So I'm going to just curve it a little, and while curving it, I took out let me just call it 8.5 inches. You can see the way I curve it here. Now after that, I'm going to input all my measurements, adding back my dart intake. Remember to put your zipper allowance. Okay, now if you wanted to put your while sewing your that gown, this front gown and the back gown, make sure you iron your hairstay to it. If you want that standing pointy look to give you that beautiful shape, iron your gum stay to it. And also, if you want to add your boning, you can go ahead and add boning, but I don't know how it's going to be looking while adding your boning. Make sure you iron your hairstay, not a paper stay, hairstay. Okay, so it's going to give it that beautiful standing look. This is a tutorial, and that is what I'm just making, because I'm not going to be sewing this style for now. Now at the side part of this paper, I'm going to go up with 1.5 inches and curve it a little bit. Remember to do that on the at the back. So I'm going to cut out this yoke, and it's already out. If you want to add yoke to your own, you can go ahead and add yoke. Okay, let me just label it yoke. Let me just leave it because I'm not making use of it. Now I'm continue cutting the back, and here comes to the end of this tutorial, guys. If you have any question, don't forget to drop it at the comment section. Okay, until then, bye for now.